Hi guys, this is Manic Magic here doing a live on my new gimbal cam holder for my S9 Plus phone. It fits really nice. As you can see that it's quite steady here. I've got a holder. I've still got to get a stand for the bottom of the base, but it would be really good. It's better than just having a stand on the table. Well, at least hopefully I'll be able to do far better shots. So as you can see the back of the shop area here at the parkland. So I'll just turn this around so you can get a better good look. Right, just turn that. That's what we're seeing here. Right, on my gimbal cam live. I'll be posting a video too. So if you miss this little video or live stream, you can get a bit of an action on my two channels, Manic Magic Lives and Manic Magic. Basically, Manic Magic is going to be 90% filled with a lot of art gear, but it's all to do with my lifestyle channel. Art is lifestyle, art is part of my therapy, so that's what I'm basing it on. I wanted to base it on children as well, but with this COPA rules, it's going to make it difficult to make it one or the other, especially if you're not going to get monetized. And I mean, I'm nearly at monetized stage. I mean, money's not everything, but it'd be nice if I was able to purchase a paintbrush or two. There she is going for her regular roll. She loves her roll. She's been eating grass, so she's trying to cough up some fur. Dogs do that. So don't be alarmed if your dog looks like it's sick. If they look healthy enough, happy enough, I mean, for a little moment, they might feel a little bit irky, but that's what happens when you feel sick. It's just like us people, because they're people too. Doggies are people too. So yeah, they feel a lot better once they cough up any of that fur, because especially when you're a border collie and you've got so much fur, you'd have a lot of fur in your throat. It'd be terrible. I'd hate to be eating food with fur in it. Yeah, so we're going to just test this out, see how long the battery lasts. I've got 5 batteries for this. The reason why I've got 5 batteries is because I've got 2 batteries on this cam, and I've got 3 batteries on my gimbal cam that I use. It just takes a bit to set up. It's got all the functions and features, but it just takes a bit to set up individually, where at least the mobile phone is just turn it on, point and shoot, and it wasn't too much drama to go live. It was very easy. While it was in mode of gimbal mode, I was able to touch screen the phone quite well. There she is again. She likes to have a nice roll. She's been in the water, as you can see. She's a little grotty girl. You grotty girl. She don't care. And I dropped my light there, so that's got to go home with me. But I'm going to use that in case it gets low light. If I've got enough battery power, because I've got 2 batteries here, I might stick it in and just see if my camera, how good my camera goes with low light. And you put a light there, and hopefully you can do a bit of longer exposure. I don't know how it can with the phone, but I'm here to learn. And might not be able to possibly be done, but that's what I'm here for, experimental. So just see how this works with jerkiness. See, I'm not the best camera person in the world, but I'm getting there. I'm making material. So if there's someone in the chat, just hit a like. Even if you don't chat, just give us a like, give us some love. Yeah, we gave a lot of love out today on Claude's drone channel. We all were managed to get someone to a new person that hasn't got really that much footage and things, and only starting out really new, going by the type of live streams he's doing. But we all start somewhere, and we got him to hit to 1,000, so that was good. And there was quite a few people we gave some love to. and hopefully they gave a bit of love back. I've still got to hit them up on my other channel. It's just I got tired, and it was like it's different time zone for me. I was up all the night and I needed to get some sleep. But isn't this gorgeous? See the reflection of the sun? It's about evening here, about what would it be, 7:30 possibly. It's a beautiful night. I mean, with my gimbal cam, I was doing a testing out the gimbal, which I might do, go down the steps and come back up again. That's about it. It's just that I've got a little bit of fluid on the lungs, and I just want to. There she is down there having a drink. I don't know if you can quite see her, just the top of her. But she loves this area here, and so does Bella, the other dog, because it's where they can hide and have a bit of privacy and know that they're within the boundary that we allow them. And so what they do is they sneak behind the trees there and then go back down the track and then come back. So they like that little bit of freedom. It gives them a little bit of privacy. I mean, we as kids and that, we always, or even adults, we always like our little bit of privacy. Well, that person was checking me out, never gave a like. That's not very nice. Gave me nothing, not even a thumbs down. Oh well, never mind. Yeah. Yesterday or the day before, whenever it was, I had over 400 plus people come in that were trolls. But unfortunately, YouTube doesn't give you the numbers now anymore. People complain that much now. The trolls that come in, they don't give you the view count. It's a bit sad. See, we come down here with the same place, but the thing is, if you look hard enough, the scenery changes all the time by the lighting and where we are, where we point the camera. The thing is, we're just testing out the cam and the capabilities of what we're using today. Well, that guy that was in the truck just disappeared. I could possibly go up to the deli. Looks like John's down there. John usually brings these dogs, but he's just walking himself today. It looks like John. What a glorious day. 2 people out walking. We get quite a few people randomly walk up and down this lake. This lake's fed directly from the river, gets pumped in. Normally this lake would be quite dry if it didn't get pumped directly straight in. So see if I can get a shot there. Zigzag at the foreground, the tree just to the left of us, the horizon right there just above centre. Yeah, so I got it in 3 parts. Got it in 3 parts with zigzag the tree and the rest of the lake, so that's a good photo shot. Yeah. That's an old tree. That tree's been there, if you can see the roots. It's been beaten and battered, and the water and erosion, and its roots are exposed, and it's got a rubber tyre wrapped around it, a tube wrapped around it, so when the boats come in they can moor to it. There's a boat there regularly every weekend that use when they go out recreational. They come in and they come to the shop for lunch, so it's quite good. What's up, Ziggy? You're going to choose to sit there now? Really? You are very photogenic, aren't you, today? You don't mind being in the shot? Yeah, you know I'm talking about you. Good girl, sweetie. Good girl. This is working very successful. I've been on for 10 minutes. If I can get a half an hour stream out of this, this is fantastic. Because you don't have to have a long stream, especially if you're just doing a vlog. Vlogging isn't meant to really be for streaming, but phones are. So there shouldn't be much difference. It all depends on when this camera cuts out. Then it will go floppy on me, and then see what happens then. But if I hold the camera and without too much strain, and then just slowly slot another battery in, we might be successful. I've got another battery in the bag there, and it should be quite good. This is working a treat, this is. Really well, it is. Another lady up at the coffee shop. Oh, I don't take photos of people very much, unless they come past. And usually I shout out, I says, I hope you don't mind, but I'm on YouTube, because it's very courtesy. It's just courtesy driven that you let them know that, you know, YouTube, not everyone likes themselves photographed. And plus, really, I never liked myself photographed either for a long time. It took me a whole day one day to try to get myself enough courage and groom myself, and you know, I thought I only had the face for camera, for radio, ugly for radio, that's what they say. Face ugly enough for radio. But you go on YouTube, there's a lot of people out there, warts and all. It really makes the ones that are ugly are confident driven to come on YouTube, and it makes all the rest of us normal people get a bit of confidence to come on too. That was terrible saying that, wasn't it? But that's the way it is. See, a lot of my American friends and drone friends are not in here tonight, because a lot of these videos I turn into videos and then people watch them later, and that's okay. They know that they can be offered a treat later. A person popped in, but they popped out again. But it'd be nice if they just gave a bit of love and then popped back out. No, there's someone's popped back in again. Give a bit of love if you're there. There's two people here. Give a bit of love. Just show I know that you care. We're just doing a testing out on a gimbal cam today, a new one that I paid for. It's actually second hand, but the tricks are with eBay. How you going, buddy? Yeah, thanks for just for a few minutes. That's fine. The trick is you look at the description and you buy them, because some people get presents even when they're a year old, and some people have got everything, and some people don't have a use for this. They don't think they're going to go out and use it for vlogging, so they think, well, let's sell it on eBay, and because $80, they'll pick up $80, and they think, oh, that's pretty cool, because it really is only a gift, but they don't want to sell it straight away, because then that's kind of insulting to the person that gave the gift. But in the end, they got $80 out of one person, because the cam, DJI cam that I handle I'm using is worth upwards to 170, and where I got it for 80, so I got a bargain. Yeah, it costs about $12, I think, for postage. So yeah, normally I'll try and target items that I don't have to pay too much for post or nothing. Because that's what you've got to sort of look at your pricing, put that postage into it, else it's not a bargain. Like people say, oh, what did you pay, wah wah wah, and if you don't add the postage, well, you haven't really got a bargain. Yeah. So yeah, good to see whoever people who have popped in every now and then. I don't care, I'm only just doing this for a test for myself, plus make a video out of it and test out the gimbal cam. So I've got my dead cat mic hanging off of it, and I was going to do a review with my tablet, but the tablet was flat, so I was actually going to show my gimbal cam all in full operation, all in its glory, with its light, with its mic. And another thing I can do too, I don't know if this is successful, but I have a stick here, and this is a selfie stick, and I just put it in front. See, it's selfie stick. It's extendable. So I don't want it to drop. So if it's got an actual a proper nut on it. No, it won't do it on this one. You've got to have a proper stand with a nut on it. That's fine. Because this will take the plate that I got at home, and then that will screw into that. So no harm done. Just thought I'd check it out. I didn't check it out enough, but that's okay. It's all good. How you going? Who else have we got in chat? We've got 2 people here. Don't be shy. Just hit a like on your way out. If you want to chat, that's even better. We're just testing out this gimbal cam for the mobile phone for my S9 Plus, and it seems to be successful in fit. And the first time I tried to put it in the slot, it's got 2 thumb screws, and it's got 1 thumb screw to extend it. Make sure you extend it properly, else the S9 will not go all the way in, and it will make it non-balanced. And what happens is, yeah, that's cold now. If it's not balanced, it gets really hot. The mechanism that makes the gimbal, and it was getting really hot. So now it's actually working really well. It's not hot at all. It just got the handle on a slight angle, but it still holds the foam steady. So really good, really successful. Thanks for the thumbs up. At the end of the day, only a few, I think it all adds up, that's all. Eventually they're going to take the thumbs away anyway, I think. So down the track it will mean nothing. Yeah. Just get the sun there a bit. Thanks, High Country. I really appreciate it. You're always in my live streams to check me out. Well, most of them anyway. I mean, you can't always be to live streams, but even with the boringest ones, you always pop in. I really appreciate it, mate. Because I mean, I try to pop into most people's live streams, even just to get some view time for you. Because every time I get a notification, I pop on. Even if I just watch it for a little bit, because it's impossible to watch everyone's for a long period of time. Oh, my view time went from 2 minutes and 46 seconds. Now it's climbed up to an amazing 11 minutes and something on an average of my videos. All my view time's gone up to 999%. My subscriber rate hasn't reached that mark yet. It's only about 60% up, but my watch hours is up 999 too, nearly 100%. So I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm getting about an 8 point something average on people's attention rate, which is in impressions. So it sort of basically tells you the impressions of how long you can keep people. And lately I just don't know what I'm doing. I just want to, if it's working right, I'm going to just keep it going that way and just try to improve on it or whatever I'm doing. Yep. Oh, the lovely birds. I haven't seen the pelican today. Every day, right, the pelicans are always at least one I see for the period of time that I'm here. And they come down and breach and the water. And off, because they like to, if someone's sitting down, they think that someone's fishing. and so they want to check out and see if there's any leftover fish for them, because that's what they do for survival. And but this is always renowned to have a pelican. It almost makes you think it's good luck to have a pelican. Like, there is a pelican out there, but it's sitting right up at the sun there, right up in the water, so it's a long way away. Sometimes they sit there and just slowly come in, so when you look up you don't realise it, then all of a sudden you glance and the pelican's there. They like coming in stealth mode. Looks like there's a few caravanners over the other side. That's the extent of the lake, is as far as you can see over there, and that's far enough that I can fly my drone, but I'm not confident enough to fly my drone that far. I only fly as far as the end of this corks here, because I know if I do lose it, I can at least find it and then try to dry it out, because I have heard success stories that if you dry them out, they can sometimes work if you get them quick enough. Lovely day. I think the last time I took footage here, I think I was down the steps, other than when I was up doing art. Then I was up at the tables. That's where I frequently do my art tutorials. I try to do them outdoors if the dead cat mite takes a lot of the wind away, and sometimes I can be on the windiest day and the people are still successful to hear me. And sometimes if it's not too crash hot, I just take the footage, cut and shut it and make a video out of it, and just put music behind it. But I love this area here with the reeds. It's beautiful. I want to do a lot of my horror movies and that there. When I say horror movies, I want to do First Nation Aboriginals here in Australia. They have mythical creatures within their tradition stories. They call them Dreamtime stories. And I think Dreamtime is just another element of reality. I believe personally there is things that happen in dreams that is just another dimension, because there's things that tell me in dreams that I'll never really know unless I felt I dreamt it. And like, I've written that many songs and that many chants. When I was in hospital, even an Aboriginal lady was down the corridor. That's what I believed anyway, and that's what I could hear it like I was awake, because I must have been awake, because then the nurse come to the door. I said, "Can you hear that Aboriginal lady down the corridor chanting to some other Aboriginals in the wards?" Because there was a few there, and I can clearly hear her yelling out, "Doctor, doctor, what do you have for me tonight?" And the doctor replied, and her name was Jeddah. Why Jeddah, I don't know, but Jeddah was a famous Aboriginal movie, but I don't know if it had any relation to that, but it can be a common name. And and the doctor was chanting, whoever the doctor was, in their Aboriginal tongue, was saying, "One fish, two fish, three fish, I have for you tonight." And that basically 3 fish represent all parts of the tribe are going to eat, because the Aboriginals, they try to feed the female first. So if they've got milk, the baby will always have some food, but the male always tries to feast last, making sure that all the how you going, Mick Mowers? That all the whole family, how you going? I didn't quite catch that name. then they know that the whole family's going to eat. And I heard this all clearly. Daniel's Adventures. Yeah, I heard this all clearly in the hospital. And I asked the nurse when she came in, popped her head in to see if I was all right, just on a nightly way around. And I said, "Did you hear that? Do you hear that? Did you hear that chanting?" And she says, "No." So it sounded like an Aboriginal lady chanting, a First Nation lady. And she says, "No." She said, "Oh, the heebie-jeebies." She got a little bit put back. But she obviously hears lots of stuff in hospital, like with people with their medication and things like that. So it'd be quite common, her hearing interesting stories. But they try to keep a very closed mind to a certain, well, not closed, but just keeps it with a grain of salt, if that's a term, where they know that some people experience some crazy stuff when they're in their with their medication. But I mean, some of this stuff that you just can't produce all that information from a dream. Like a lot of this information I did get from a child, but a lot of stuff I learn through my dreams. And I think if people are honest, I think they do too. Good day, mate. What else did you say, buddy? It just fades in and out, so I've got to just press on there. You're in Darwin? Well, I'm in 2.5 to 3 hours north of Adelaide. So you're on the actual track. Well, not just a couple hours over west, but from Adelaide to Darwin, we used to be almost one state, just about. If it wasn't for the South Australian camels and that, and the Aboriginals with the trackers and the expeditionists to get the roads and the telegraph up to Adelaide, up to Darwin. Yeah, if it wasn't for the camels, it wouldn't have happened. So I know a lot of history, and I will be making little movies about the history. Whether I make them, I think to make them entertaining, I'll do it with my art. I'll make the art of the camels and the people, and have them in a light box, and have the trees and whatnot going around in the light box, so that's permanent. And you have like different little props, those sort of things, to show how it's made, and do content of how to make them, and then film them and add that to my. Yeah, I love the history too, and film it as a story, because I used to live at the place where the Afghans first settled, out of Adelaide, which was actually Dublin, which is a town named after Dublin in Ireland, and because a lot of Australian towns and cities are named after a lot of European countries, and or countries, or the cities or towns, and like Perth, etc. And there's Ernie Dingo and someone else did a documentary on it, where they were travelling up through past through South Australia. If it wasn't for the springs that were just below the border of the Northern Territory, there wouldn't have been enough water for the camels to even survive, because they were starting to eat some of the camels. They needed food. If they didn't get halfway, they wouldn't have made it the other extra way, and that's a fact. And that's why it's so significant on the other side of Lead Creek. And one of our famous artists come from there, and he paints really nice gum trees and that. So I will be doing shout outs for him, and he's one of our famous artists. And yeah, do a travel all the way up through Darwin, because at Alice Springs, some of the Afghan residents that died were buried there at Alice Springs, and it's very significant to them as well. A lot of the Afghan men married or settled with the Aboriginal women, and so there is a strong influence with their diet and that as well. The Afghans provided types of cooking when it was available, rices and different Afghan style foods, and they introduced that to their diet, and the Aboriginals introduced their diet to them. So they lived in little dwellings and lived as a group, and yeah, I want to express that information. Just another element to my channel. It'll be great. Another chap going for a walk, which is fantastic. It's so beautiful. The sun's still got probably another half an hour or more before it settles. And this gimbal cam, I haven't even used the first battery up. It is working like a treat. The first time when I had the gimbal not on straight, it was wearing the gimbal out and it was getting really hot, and it has this shut off point where it just won't go anymore. So I charged it back up, the battery, and got another battery. How you going, mate? And I'm on YouTube.
Sunset,
Pardon?
beautiful sunset.
Oh, beautiful sunset. I tried not to film you. I'm on YouTube. I just filmed the ocean, the lake for you.
Oh,
Yeah, very nice. Some people don't like to be filmed.
yeah, that's okay.
That's okay. Very good. I just like to keep people in.
What you want to do, man?
Yeah, no, but just keeping people informed. Yeah, yeah, beautiful day.
Yeah.
Yes, lovely. Zigzag comes down every day. That's my dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So I'm just trying out this new cam part here for my mobile phone, and I've got a cat mic,
So that gives you in your mobile phone pictures, everything, eh?
and it records it. I've got this on live, so I've got people in here and chat. There's 4 at the moment, and they're listening to me and sucking in the beautiful view. The dead cat mic takes out all the wind noise, because the little fur filters the wind.
Yeah.
And then I have a camera that I drop, but I just let it roll, and that goes on there too. Not a camera, a light, and that's got a battery and whatnot, and that goes on, that mounts onto that too. And then when the sun goes down, I can actually keep filming, and because with the sun there's enough light, even when it's below the horizon, that I can film right up to 10 o'clock or longer. It's really good. And then you get the stars and everything. I'm doing a review on this to see how long the battery's going on its first go. I tried to get a cheaper one time, but it didn't arrive, and because it comes from China, some things don't arrive and then they reimburse you. Where this one was from a second-hand one, unwrapped, so it hadn't been used, obviously for a Christmas present. So I paid it for the right price, like only a third of the price. And I'm trying it out, and it's working a treat. And they haven't said anything in chat saying that the mic's not picking me up and that. And
You've got a good reception here.
Yeah, good reception. I'll get reception from him. He gives me plus I've got my own reception, but he gives me his number to use because we're good friends. But I can flip the camera, and that gets me, as you can see.
Yeah.
So I can talk to them, and they get my dial on there.
Yeah, I got a big camera, Nike, but I'm not a photographer.
I
wedding photo or family photo only, you know.
I want to get a more advanced camera. I had one before, but I sold it to buy some other stuff that I needed for my YouTube
this
channel.
works all right for you?
But this is working fine, so I might not even worry. But for I do art, you see, so I want to do models of little Aboriginals and camels and whatnot, and doing the history from Adelaide to Burke and Wills and that, and plus all around, do some Aboriginal stories around the lake and that,
That's good.
and then film it. But then I'll probably need a camera that can get close up, but see what I've got, work it out. If it works well, I'll use it. If not, then I will invest in something more expensive. But I've got enough cameras now that I probably can get enough cameras to do all the angles because sometimes when you're doing that sort of stuff, you've got to set up, then change it, then set up, change it. Where if you've got a couple of cameras for different reasons, and that way, and you have them all rolling, and without any, and just cut out the volume, it could be
Very
successful.
Good, very good.
So yeah, this is working well. This is 1080p. The phone is, and it picks up through that, and so it gives really good vision.
Yeah.
Where my other phone was heating up and it was cutting out, and
getting warm?
warm
Can I
it was.
touch it?
This is not warm at all,
Yeah, it's all right.
and this isn't warm either. But when I first initially put this in,
Yeah.
I found out there's another thumb screw to push it all the way in,
Yeah, yeah.
and because if it didn't balance, it puts pressure on that, and then it wears out the motor, and so it's got a safety mechanism. It goes red and then it shuts off.
Yeah.
So now that it's worked properly, it's cold as anything.
How much that cost you? To take
This for $80,
Oh, that's all right.
where they're normally $270.
Yeah,
So I'm very happy, and that's with the fittings and the parts and 2 batteries. I've got another cam that's got like a round head, looks like an old-fashioned phone, like the old-fashioned phones they had in the 20s, and that does good, but it takes a bit to set up.
yeah.
Where this is just point and
What
shoot.
is that called? The one
It's a DJI
DTI.
Gimbal mobile.
Oh, mobile.
So it adapts to your mobile phone with the slot and everything, and can work through your phone.
I've never seen that before.
Oh, they've been around for a few years now.
Yeah. Because I haven't seen
Um,
nobody use it.
Maybe, yeah, but we're here at Burma, and not with technology. We're quite behind.
Yeah.
Down the city,
Yeah.
there's an in joke that, oh, have you heard Michael Jackson had died?
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
died many years ago, right?
Yeah.
But the reason why it's not a joke because he died. The joke is that sometimes information getting filtered from the cities,
Yeah.
us in the country don't get it very often.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with the technology, I'm more advanced with a lot of the technology going on around here, because I've got a drone as well, and that does
Oh, I
4K
see.
as well, the best
Oh, take
footage,
pictures, eh?
take pictures of everything, and I'm only learning how to do it, and I've got a channel for 10 months.
Yeah.
So now that I'm getting more confident, I'll
You
send
can
it
run a
elsewhere.
business with a drone.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm doing promotions for.
Take pictures
For
of
Eddie?
weddings and all with a drone.
You can,
You know.
but
things like
there's issues, because I know all the rules and the laws and that. The problem with the drone is you've got to be a certain 35 meters away from people,
that. Oh. I
and
see,
if it's a
yeah.
function that you've got to film from away, because in case
Connection can happen.
in case something happens, with the DJI drones, if you're doing everything right, they just sit there.
Yeah.
So if you just hover the drone there,
Yeah.
the only place it's going to go, because they don't go off and go on a dangerous circuit and hit someone. If they're going to do they end up hurting themselves in the fact
But if
if
you
something.
can control it, it'll be all right. If
Yeah,
everything-
but with the
only when the battery runs out. Or
yeah, but
something
with the
happens.
DJI drone,
Yeah.
you don't have to control it once it's up.
Oh.
It just sits there by GPS.
Oh, I see.
Right, this is how advanced it is. And then you've got some that follow you and everything by itself. And that's another drone I'm getting. And the thing is, the only danger it can do is drop from the sky and it'll just go straight down.
Yeah.
It won't veer off to hit someone.
Yeah.
So if you've got it in a location that's safe, it won't hit anyone. As long as you obey the rules of being away from
Yeah,
people, and even cordon the area off,
Well, you can caution the people, that this
caution
thing
them,
can happen.
leave some signs,
Yeah,
have it
yeah.
on your t-shirt.
Yeah.
I have a
Tell
vest.
everybody that this
I have
can
a
happen, be
vest
careful.
that I'm a drone flyer,
Yeah.
and I'll wear that when I've got my drone. So then they know that I'm around. And the other thing is, you do is educate people over long term.
Yeah.
Like the council know I have a drone, and they don't touch me, don't bother me.
A lot
'Cause-
of people don't know what drone is.
yeah, some people don't know. And then some people get bad word about it, thinking they're they take people's privacy away.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you have to be very close
Yeah.
to do that, and it's not the case. So there's a lot of things that you can learn from drones.
Yeah, yeah.
And the technology's
you're
going-
pretty advanced. You're
the-
pretty advanced.
Yeah, the technology is coming a long way.
Yeah.
They've just recently brought out a Scotty O2, which I've got a mate that's going to buy me one. and which I'm very fortunate because I really don't have the money.
You know, back home, I'm from India.
Yeah, from India. Yeah.
And my dad used to have a box camera, you know, Kodak.
Yeah, I did.
Kodak box
I
camera.
had one too
And
when
that
I was a
thing, we
kid.
thought, you know, this is a very, very good thing, you know.
Oh, well, the thing is,
Now everything is different.
like when they made Star Wars,
Yeah,
we're more advanced as a hobbyist
yeah.
in our own home than what they had to film Star Wars and different big budget movies.
Yeah.
We are so lucky what technology we have available now.
Very good, yeah.
So that's why I can make, with learning, excuse me, can make movies and stuff.
Yeah,
Where before it was just a dream.
yeah.
My first experience was at high school. Excuse me, talking too much. And it basically showed me walking down the stairs, and because it was an old camera, style camera, it was like it was slow motion. It was like watching a like an elephant walking. You know how they're just walk very slowly and casual. It was like that. But the thing is, it taught me a lot. It taught me about exposure, taught me about making the whole process with the chemicals. Now I don't have to mess around with any chemicals. All I do is point and shoot, and it's delivered to the public.
Previously, you take a picture and a film, you go process inside night time.
Yep.
You work whole night to get photos, you know.
Now, an hour, I can make a video, and now we've got special effects and shut and cut it and put all these magical stars behind it and fire and.
Or to film and then take black and white, you know, photos.
Yeah, because
And give it to the friends.
black and white photos are great because it gives a lot of definition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you have fun.
I will. Thank you very much.
All the best.
See, if you ever see me, stop by and say hello.
Yes,
It's
okay.
fine.
Good luck with you.
And yeah.
I'll come.
And maybe you might end up getting the bug and using your camera a lot more
Yeah.
because it's so much fun even later at night.
Yeah.
If you use the exposure for a camera like that, you can pick up really nice night scenes.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do eventually is I've got these these light sources there,
Yeah.
and you can get some cheap ones from Cheapest Chips,
Oh,
right,
yeah.
which is only about $10, where these ones are about double the price. You
It's
can put
light, is it?
it's just a light. You press
Oh.
the button, it's a light, and you put a coloured piece of plastic on it,
Oh, it's
or you
making
can actually
different
buy the
views.
lens.
Yeah.
But what you do
I
is
know what you mean.
you dot them on the sand there, just above the grass. Below the grass, so you don't see them.
Yeah.
But the light reflects on the water.
Reflects, yeah.
So what I do is have them dotted across.
Yeah.
So, and because I'm an
It's
artist,
beautiful. Look at that.
yes, I'm an artist, so I know yellow, blue, and red can make other colours
Yeah.
when you cross them over.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is achieve with the low light is having these lights that are hidden. There will be light on the water, and then I'll film and I'll do some art
Yeah.
where it'll have the colours on the water and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to pick up and achieve. So I'll be doing that at another time.
At the moment, look at that. It's
Yes,
beautiful.
if I did it over there with the sun, that would be absolutely stunning. Well, people don't want to see bimug all
You
the
better
time.
hurry up because it's going to go.
Yeah, I'm going to swap over the.
Okay.
There it is.
I'll
Thank
see
you.
you.
See you, mate.
You have fun.
You too, buddy. That was a lot of fun. Nice talking to that man. Look at that glorious sunset. I'm just peeping through the trees here. Just before I go, there's my dog. She loves just sitting up there. She's in a glorious shot. She just does her own thing. She sits by me, wants a cuddle, and then other times she just wants a distance. It's glorious. I like a dog with freedom, as long as they don't run amok. I might come down by the ladder now. And it's been going for 45 minutes. It's going. Yep, no worries. Oh, how you going, Matt North? Good to see you, mate. Did you catch a bit of that chat, did you? Oh, I was just getting the sunset. It's beautiful. I was just explaining to this Indian chap, well, a chap from Australia. I shouldn't call him an Indian chap. That's disrespectful. But he came from there. And he's got a camera. He hardly uses it. And I said, hey, if you ever see me, just pop around and I'll give you a few tips. You might even learn yourself, and because that's the best way, is learn yourself and pick up a bit on YouTube and that. And he might get back into the bug, and instead of taking wedding photos, that's the last thing I want to do is wedding photos. I've done heaps of wedding photos. I don't like it. And because it's same old, same old. And a lot of people just get around fake. They're all grumpy and whatnot, but big smiles on their face, making out they're enjoying themselves. I mean, I've been some doozies. Fights out in the back garden when everyone gets drunk, and then you get the daughter coming up or the sister coming up and says to the man and says, if you touch my sister, I'll come and stab you, and shit like this. I'm thinking, oh my God, I've been to some doozies. With a bit of grog. It's funny. So I'd stick to this when I don't have to worry about people like that. So I'm on my new gimbal cam, Matt, and I paid $80 for it. It was in its box, second hand, not used. It was a gift from someone that he had no use. So I got it last week, and I waited 8 days. Just picking up my light, my DJI light. Oh, well, it's not a DJI, but a light that I dropped, and just testing it out, doing just a on-the-spot review. Before I do a proper review, I'll use this in a video, and what I'll do is I'll record the actual camera getting filmed with my tablet and presenting a proper review on both of my channels. They don't like doing duplicates to YouTube, but what I do is I change the first video a little bit, and then they got no choice of accepting it. On my other gimbal cam that I got, which is a DJI, takes a bit to set up, so that's why I use the phone one now, well, first time anyway. And that one I can film right up to 10 o'clock and get a really good shot. It looks like my friends are closing up. My dog's up there. She goes up there and sees, because they give her some food every now and then. And plus she likes to say hello. They all love her. I'm going down the ladder at the moment. So just see how that's performing, me sitting down. Well, that went steady as a rock pretty much. So it's working really good. Now I'm getting low battery, but I've been doing it for 50 minutes now, or close to, so that's good. And I mean, I use this for a bit to set up. So if I can get an hour live stream out of this, this is brilliant. And the gimbal cam part, I've still got a full battery on a second battery. So it's really good. So I'll just shoot around and get the best out of this. I'll try to get a cinematic shot. You know, your 2/3 and all that caper. That's it. All right, see you guys. If you can still see me, I'm sorry. Without further ado, please subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment and hit a like. Thank you guys. Manic Magic out. Just got the sun in time. Oh, okay. You just missed me. Camera working. Flat battery. Yeah, it's Ziggy. I just captured it and before the phone battery ran out. I've been here over an hour and I've got a new gimbal cam that arrived today. I got it. It's belonged to a person that had it for a present. Never used it. Sealed in its box. So I purchased it second hand and it's brand new. And it really works good.
Is that the one that you're doing?
Yeah, that's the phone, but that's the actual cam. This is the cam. It's a handle and that. It's gimbal. So what you do is it spins around. See, spins around.
Yeah, give me a second.
Yep, no worries.
Yeah, you can still talk. I can hear you.
That's right, but I just can't get you to participate when you're busy, which is fair enough. Yeah. So
And that one comes to winds and stuff.
yes, see how that swivels around by itself. So you can do selfies and everything. And then you can tilt that up and down.
Hey.
You've got to have that balance so it burns out the motors, it gets
We
hot.
did a selfie.
And then you can press that and it gives you a selfie.
And stick my head in there.
You stick your head in there.
Where are we? There you go.
It's glorious,
yeah,
that's
no.
why.
Now
That's
I'm
why I
happy with
come
that.
down.
Let me have a look at your toy.
Yeah. You can press
Oh my
Press
god,
that
it's so
button.
hot. Yeah, let go.
Is it hot?
Yeah, very, very.
No, that's not hot.
That's
Oh, they're a little bit hot there, but that's how it should be.
In here.
Yeah, because that's the motor. 'Cause there's a motor there and a motor there.
And how's this work out?
Well, you've got to press
Oh
that.
my god, look
swivel
at that.
You've got to
is
swivel that
beautiful.
button there. It's just turning itself.
Joystick.
Well, you've just turned it off, that's why. Or the battery's gone flow.
Yeah, it's quite
Low.
possible. Look at that. My Sony, I
And
used
so
to
you can
love
use
that.
that button there to back and forwards, up and
Oh
down.
my god, you're going live.
Yeah, it's probably still
Hi.
going live. It is going live. It's still got a bit of battery power. 3 people are watching.
Sorry guys. We took you for a ride. Hey Beethoven. Evil can evil.
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks for
There
that.
you go. You're welcome.
Oh, goodbye.
Yeah, and just another fellow YouTuber here, checking out my new cam.
Yeah, can't go wrong without the lake.
Yes, beautiful down the lake.
Go crazy without the lake. It was horrible when there was no water in here.
All right, see you guys. Still see you out there.
Is that your stuff down on the bench?
Yeah.
It's like a statue. What the hell is that?